This is Annabelle, and I met her from the show. And I'll let you and I'll ask you some questions, and you can talk about your animal. And
these are my two animals. They are Peter's Rock Agamas. They are females. The big one is Laverne, and this one right here is Shirley. She is much nicer. They can grow to be a foot long, the males, and they are much colorful. So the females are like brown. The males can have like orange or red heads and are really nice and colorful, and like a blue or black colored body and orange and black tail. They're really big. There's several of them here in Florida. They are non-native. They kind of escaped in the 70s, and they have been all in the wild in Miami and such, and they've been going up along the West Coast. And these ones are from Fort Myers, which was recently hit by hurricanes, so these ones managed to get out alive.
now, where do they come from originally?
Africa.
Oh, they come from Africa. Okay.
East and West Africa.
Okay. So then their terrain is like more deserty?
Yes, they have a desert environment. They like to hang out in rocks. So in Florida, they hang out in urban environments like in cities and parking lots. They don't really go out into the wilderness as much. They stick to people.
And what do they eat?
They eat insects, and they will occasionally eat mice and birds and small mammals, and even their young.
Really?
Yeah.
A bird?
They can eat like little baby birds.
Right.
They can also eat other lizards and frogs. So they can kind of eat a little bit of everything, but their diet mainly is insects.
Now, what got you interested in Agamas?
I saw a bunch of them at Fort Myers on a trip. I was like, oh my god, I have to have one of these.
That's usually the oh my god experience. I have to have it. That's great. That's great.
So we got a little trap and we caught them some, and they
So they just got, it's easy to catch. I know sometimes iguanas are hard to catch.
You can't catch them like just like chasing after
Oh,
them.
you have to get them
set up
into
a trap and
Now, would you walk
Shirley-
around with that so this way everybody can see? And if she gets all stressed out, you can put her back in the cage. I don't want her to. And somebody might not want back there.
This is a 4-year-old tangerine corn snake. This snake was taken in from a young girl that couldn't take care of it no more, and Doreen picked it up and brought it to my house while I wasn't there. And my wife started handling it. I was supposed to just keep it, make sure it was healthy, and then find a home for it.
You did?
No, yeah, that was a while ago. So anyway, I came home, and first thing out of my wife's mouth is, that snake's not going nowhere. That's my snake. I'm keeping it. So she ended up winning, and but she's a real sweetheart. That's a really nice little snake. She eats small rats and frozen thawed, and she's just been a blessing. When I bring her to Moccasin Lake on Wednesdays, the kids and anybody can handle her, and she's just real gentle. And she's not one of the rat snakes that's real fast, or always trying to get out of your hand. She just likes to hang out like that, so it works out really good. But her name's Hannah. But that's her snake now. I feed it, but she clean the cage, but it's hers. But while I was in the hospital, she took care of all the animals. So that was her and my grandson. So they did a good job taking care of them. So I when I got out, they were all still alive, so I was happy about that. Isn't she pretty?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, almost doesn't have any pattern, because usually the pattern, like the corn snakes, you can see the pattern, but usually it's a lot darker. And yeah, it's anyway.
So, would you like to walk around and show? Show everybody.
Let us have a cash minute for you. Yeah, it's the right. Stay around for hours. And then you go somewhere.
Yeah. All right, this guy here is one of the largest frogs in the world, and he's still growing. That's Jabba the Hutt. Those of you know who Jabba the Hutt is, but yeah, that's his name. Well, that was his name when I took him in, so I just kept it because it fit him perfectly. And he's another one that's very popular at moccasin hunting. One because of the size, and the other because of his name. It's a giant African bullfrog. And they do not secrete any poison. They don't have any glands or anything that secrete poison. So when you hand them, the only thing you have to be careful of is that you don't rub them, because you can tear their skin very easily. The skin is very thin. So they normally don't handle them like you would a snake or something, just other than to take them out like this, or when I have to clean the cage or something. But other than that, they don't really handle them. When I feed my snakes, I feed him. He eats rats, whole rats, and when you put a rat in front of him, he's as fast as a snake is. You dangle the rat in front of him, and he lunges, his tongue comes out, and he lunges forward with his mouth wide open, and bang! And you can't get the rat back out of his mouth. The top of their jaw right here is lined with teeth, very sharp needle point teeth. The bottom jaw has 3 bony structures that stick up. 2 like this here, and then 1 short one in the middle of those 2. So when it actually almost pierces whatever goes in their mouth, forces it up against the top teeth, and it's not going anywhere. Yeah, it's quite fascinating to watch them eat. And then when they swallow, in order for them to swallow, they blink. So when the rat's in his mouth, he'll actually go like that, and part of the rat will disappear. And he'll sit there for a few seconds, he'll blink again, more rats, till there's just the tail sticking out. And then he still does that till the whole rat is completely gone. But the only thing with these, you got to keep them moist. So he's kept on this moss. The moss is kept damp, and then he also has a disc that he'll go in, and if he gets a little too warm or something, he'll go sit and just soak in that disc. Other than that, he'll get in that moss and go hide. So actually hide him and have to go dig through there and find him. So just make sure that your finger doesn't find that end first.
Now, do they sleep at night, or are they awake at night?
They're active anytime they want to be.
Oh.
Yeah. The other thing in Africa, he's from Africa, so he's in the parts of Africa where it's damp and wet. Okay. When they go into a drought, these guys will burrow down in the mud. Okay. And they can stay there for up to 2 years down in the mud. And the way they breathe, they actually breathe through their skin while they're buried. And then,
Do they make any noise?
uh,
Do they make any noise?
I haven't heard him yet. They're supposed to make noise, but he'll grunt. Yeah, see him blowing up. But there's. Did you hear that?
I thought that was your bowl.
Yes, they just go like that. Yeah. But anyway, that's Java Pup.
Pretty cool. He's cool. He's smiling.
I took him in because he just had that wow factor, you know. So I thought, yeah, it's something I want to have in my collection to share with people.
So what do you have there?
This is a ball python male. She does this sweet or like,
And it's a boy?
no, it's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl. You said he was a sweetheart.
She like 10,
10?
11 maybe.
How long have you had him?
Like what, like since she was a few weeks old.
Oh, that's so close. You had her all her life. That's so sweet. How long do they live till?
Like 30 or so.
Oh, good. So you'll have her a long time.
And like the oldest ball python lived to be 47.
Oh, wow. 47. Now, does she ever have babies for you?
No.
Okay.
I really like want to get a million boyfriend.
Now, what do you feed her?
Frozen or that.
Frozen mouse. How often?
Like we try to do it like every other Sunday.
Every other day?
Every other Sunday.
Oh, every other Sunday. So one, yeah, okay, so every other week. Okay, that's good. Now tell us about her shed. How does she go into shed?
Like her eyes like turn kind of like blue. And like it takes maybe like a week or so or a few weeks to start and like she said like twice or 3 times a year I think.
What'd you say? Okay. Now how long is she?
Like 4 feet and a bit.
And is she gonna get bigger?
No, she's full grown.
Full grown.
She's like 10 years old, so they'll like get the like in amount so small we can notice it without.
Now, you said she's a sweetheart. Do they make good pets?
Yeah, they're like one of the best snakes to have if you're like new to having snakes.
She seems like a good animal to have. You can hold her, you can put her around, you know, so you're not afraid that she's gonna squeeze you, right?
No.
Just a commercial. We have a ball python for raffle at the show, $1 ticket or 6 for 5. So we're raffling it off tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
How she seems to need help. Do you hold her often?
Yeah.
Do you try to hold her every day except when she eats?
Yeah, like we order like maybe a few times a week.
Yeah. She's tough. She likes it.
Yeah, she's very comfortable with you. Isn't that cool? Would you like to walk around and show the people? Very.
Well, this is Brendel. She's a northern blue tongue skink. They are from northern Australia, even though she's obviously captive bred. She's one of Ray Gurgey's case. And she's about 6 years old. And she's, I'm not sure which one it is. They're omnivorous. And so, I mean, I can give you a whole dissertation on her diet because it's a lot. Gets about half vegetable, about 40% protein, and about 10% maximum fruit. So with the babies, they tend to get a little bit more protein, and they get cat food mixed in with the fruit and the veg.
And they sleep at night, right?
Yes, they're diurnal, and she's a little upset that I'm waking up.
Just a little feisty.
She's not feisty, she's just a little worried because I'm all of a sudden being loud and she's all
Right, right.
curled up and getting headed. They're really neat animals because they've got these short little T-Rex legs, and in the wild they're burrowers. So the legs, the sockets, they actually go both forwards and backwards. So really cool little thing they do. So they do need quite a bit of substrate because they do like to dig. Trying to think what else.
Now, I love the blue tongue. I know they're called blue tongue skinks, but why are their tongues blue?
When they're really upset, as a defense mechanism, they open their mouths really wide with the tongue flops out. So it might be like just a threat display. We've never actually seen them do that.
Right. The tongue is pretty.
Yeah.
When we like see her go on, no.
Oh, you see, she sticks her tongue.
It was a really cool, like, neat or blue button on when she goes.
And when she uses it to smell too, so it comes out with a lovely thing. Questions?
So she's full grown?
Oh yeah, she's an adult.
We have to go on for like an adult.
Well, she was close to an adult. She was just under a year.
And when you look at it, we all look at the baby, we people will be alone and honest with us.
She's plenty nice. She's just opinionated.
Yeah. She just wants her own way.
No, they're very smart. She's opinionated. Sometimes she really likes being a cuddle lizard. Other times she prefers to be admired from a distance. But yeah, they do make good pets, but they do need the socialization.
Oh, they do? So they have, with people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're okay by themselves?
I mean, yeah, you don't have to handle them. But like I said, they're very smart, so they need some kind of enrichment.
Right.
You need to put a little thinking into, what you're going to use with them. Sometimes you get crickets, which aren't a great source of protein, but they're fantastic enrichment.
Oh, yeah, because they jump around.
Exactly, so just chase those.
But now, she wouldn't be a climber, because I put stuff in for the beauty just to climb up and down.
No, they're not high climbers. Like her tank's only a foot tall. I mean, it's one of those wide.
Right.
It's the 4x2 by 10. Oh, they do need UV, like most lizards.
And that's UV, for those who don't know, that means it's the full spectrum from the sun. So they want to be outside, or they have to have the bulb.
Yeah. So, and if they don't have UV, like a lot of lizards, they can get metabolic bone disease. So that's important. Trying to think what else.
Pretty. Now they don't shed. They shed like a piece.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it's a mess. These days. They do need to keep their nails. The nails need to keep that. Like we've got some slate enclosures, so we don't need to trim much, but like if their nails get longer, we need to have them trimmed.
Right.
I'm trying to think what else for care.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty. Although she's nothing.
And what's her name?
Randall.
Oh, Brenda, you said that, yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a good dragon or kind of names.
You're gonna get
It's
all.
gonna fly away.
All right, Michael. How cute is that? Little
That's
angel.
adorable.
So this is Firefly. She's a British dragon. She is 3 years old.
Now, is that like a sandfire or sunburst or something?
I'm not really sure. I got it from Fairy Tale. I know she has the, I forget what you call it, the round scales on the back.
Oh.
But
It's not leatherback.
no. But she's kind of on a small side. I'm not really sure what happened. Because yours is huge compared to
He
hers.
was found loose running around Largo. So I don't know what he was eating, but yeah, a lot of people said that this guy was. So now, that's a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
She is a
It's
female.
cute. Beautiful color. Do you get to put her out much? Do you have an outdoor enclosure?
No.
No. Yeah, you gotta
All we
use
have
it.
is inside. So take her walk. Basically.
And I'm keeping him in a 40 to 1. So I don't know what size. Sometimes that makes it kind of difference. Because he runs around and then he goes outside and there's a lot of like little things for him to climb and stuff. So he is like exploring and all that stuff. And what do you feed this baby?
She gets bugs, twice a week, and then salad every morning. Mostly green.
What temperature should be for that?
Her basking spot is 99, and then I love rock. So, then I think the temperature on work is like 80 something in the house.
Oh, okay.
She's beautiful.
Kind of feisty, doesn't like taking photos like the other ones did. So I pretty much leave her alone for the most part.
She's pretty happy. And what's her name?
Firefly.
Oh, Fireflies. I didn't say that. I thought that was the color.
Okay, so I
A Dr. Pepper bottle.
yeah. So this is so my company doesn't realize that I'm keeping a pet black widow on my semi truck. So and it's apparently they're so they spend a lot of the time in the wild, you know, in crevices and in tight corners. So you know, it's not as inhumane as it looks. She just laid an egg sac, and I feed her a cricket once a month because they basically go into dormancy anytime they're not eating, and the way they trap their food, I think is kind of interesting. They'll release a certain bunch of silk and then use their hind legs to kind of back up onto the prey and wrap the prey up with their hind legs.
Is that the egg sac that's in there?
Yeah, the little white thing is the egg sac, and she is.
Are you gonna have like a million babies now?
Yeah, well, I was hoping to give it to the egg sac to a friend of mine in Ocala. If not, I'm kind of playing it by ear. When I first got her, so I've been wanting a black widow for a while, and I've kept tarantulas before. Most talented one being the Stromatopoma calceatum, which is a very fast. It's also called the feather-footed baboon tarantula. It's a very fast and potent species. So I asked on several spider forums and tarantula forums if I've kept the strat cal correctly, what are the, you know, well, without any accidents, no escapes, no incidents. You know, am I good enough at skill level for, say, venomous scorpion or a venomous, or maybe an orange baboon tarantula? And the replies were overwhelmingly, you know, positive. If you were able to keep a strat cal, get your first old world tarantula.
Is that venomous then? A little bit then mildly venomous?
Yeah, the strat calc, yeah, and but there's something weird with the strat calc venom. It's like it goes up, I can't remember the name of the system, but it goes up it affects the potassium in your body. Or this has a comparatively, primarily neurotoxic.
Do they bite you or is it just around your skin?
No, they gotta bite in order to, so, you know, while I was asking, you know, what skill level I'm able to likely to conquer after having a strat calc as my first old world. Black Widow came out and they said, yeah, it's, you know, the replies were overwhelmingly positive. Yeah, if you could do a strat calc, you could definitely do a Black Widow.
Do you need a permit for that?
Not that I'm aware of.
I didn't know because the venomous is all that. You know, I didn't know.
So my when I checked, it was inverts. When I checked Fish and Wildlife, and I also rechecked it last week, it was a inverts. They kind of don't care that much about a permit. Now I don't know if that's going to change in next year.
Are they native to Florida?
Black widows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Black widow. So researching this, I realized I found out that there's black widows in not only the New World, but spread out throughout the New World, but also spread out throughout the Old World. And this species is a western black widow from the Arizona region. And I feed her one cricket a month.
One chicken on, that's enough.
Yeah. They also only eat the inside, so after they wrap them up, they'll
They suck it out, right?
yeah, they suck it out. Versus the tarantulas I used to keep, where they would eat the entire cricket. One thing I found interesting, and of course
And they make a web, right?
Yeah, these guys web up a lot more than any tarantula I've kept. But it's not like that traditional like
those round webs.
yeah, it's not those round webs with the lines. It's kind of like it looks like cobwebs, you know. But I'd be hesitant to say that they make a good first pet just because of the venom. Like I don't really handle her. So you know, if you wanted to get a first pet, I would recommend, you know, a curly haired tarantula. That was my first spider. But as far as true spiders go, you know, you got the archaic and the true spiders. Archaic are more primitive. The jumping spiders and tarantulas are considered archaic. As far as the true spider goes, they make a great first true spider.
And are they nocturnal?
Yeah, they're yeah, and even if like I'm in a dark area, like I have my curtains drawn on my truck, she knows that she knows it's not nighttime, so she'll stay kind of still, and then at nighttime she'll kind of she'll move around a little bit.
And you keep her in that all the time?
Yeah, she's barely she doesn't even make it all. Doesn't even climb all the way up the stairs. Oh yeah, no. So they can't climb on plastic or glass. So yeah, there's no chance for her escaping through the air holes.
Oh, you have air holes in it?
Yeah.
Oh. What do you have there, Claudia?
Okay, I've got Duncan. He is a 6.5-year-old jungle carpet python. I got him when he was 2.5 years old and about that long. He grew. The fun thing about him in particular is, like with my ball pythons, they eat, they poop, they shed. He eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. And he shed, I've had him since 2000, and he shed about 6 times.
You had him in 2000,
Yeah.
23 years?
Oh, I'm sorry, 21.
Oh, 21, okay. 2 years.
2020.
2020.
As you see, he likes to go up. They are arboreal. They live in trees. He comes from Queensland, Australia. Well, actually, he comes from Tampa, but his native home would be in Queensland, Australia. They live in trees. They have this nice prehensile tail. Let me tell you about his prehensile tail. You see the way he's wrapped around my watch? My watch is digging into my arm because he's not real secure. Come on, Duncan. Let me unwind you for a minute here. There we go. There we go. He's not used to being out this long.
Yeah.
Because I usually rotate him with another guy, but the other guy didn't want to come today. So,
He's beautiful.
he eats large frozen thawed rats about every 3 weeks. He's a little over 6 foot, almost 7 foot now. He should gain more weight and another 2 feet in length, not 2 feet. Little snake humor. The one thing about jungle carpets, they have a nasty reputation of being nasty. And they are striky, they are bitey, and it is a well-deserved reputation. Nobody told him. He's basically a gentleman. I have a Bredley python that is supposed to be the gentleman of the carpet python family. Nobody told him when he was little because he's pretty much a jerk. Now, knock on wood, Liam has gotten out of the jerk phase. When I first got Duncan, I had him for about 6 days, and I took him out because I was trying to take him out twice a day, every other day. Well, something scared him, and he wrapped his little prehensile tail around my watch and my wrist and shut off the circulation in my arm for about 45 seconds. And I had just completed a class, and okay. Part of the class was having a tourniquet put on your arm. And so I knew what it was to have the circulation shut off. Well, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, this is not going to work. So I ended up actually unwrapping him. But for about 45 seconds, I had very little circulation in my left arm.
Explain what a prehensile tail is.
Prehensile tail is, anybody's seen videos on monkeys and then they wrap their tail around a tree, go swinging. That's basically what they call prehensile tail. Now, what he is doing now is the one thing that you should never do with a jungle carpet python. Is put him around your neck. Well, he's going around my neck and I'm basically letting him. The reason being is, as big as he is, you guys are here. So I'm not afraid of him choking me out and, not having help. But he's holding on and I'm letting him go where he wants to go. So it's just one of those things. It's a trial and error with him because he is so good that I'm not too concerned. The funny thing is he's got a plexiglass cage. Well, he thinks that he is about the size of CD's rat snake because there's a ledge where the door's closed that's about a ½ inch wide. He tries to go lay up on that ½ inch wide ledge. Doesn't make it. In the middle of the night, you hear thud, like 2 pair of shoes dropping. Well, the first time it happened, it was like, what the heck? Because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, all right, get your wits about you. Are the dogs barking? No, the guard dogs are not barking. So nobody's trying to break into the house. I laid there for a while. I hear again, thud. Okay, this time I get up, wander through the house, turn on the light in his room, and there he is down on the floor of the cage. Well, he's a boreal. He doesn't like being on the floor of the cage except when he's in the shed and laying on over the seat pads. But he fell off the ledge, and he does that quite often.
He doesn't learn.
No, he doesn't learn. Now he learns other things. He knows the color. He knows the large coffee cup that I heat water in to put his rat in. Defrost the rat, put the rat in a Ziploc baggie, sandwich bag, heat water up in a cup for about ½ a minute, and put the rat in to get a heat signature. He knows that cup. I've changed the cup, and he knows the new cup.
Interesting.
So he went from yellow to blue. I don't know whether he's colorblind or not, but he knows the cup.
That's cool.
And there's no way he can smell anything, in the cup.
Right.
Because the cup's humongous. It's like this thick.
Right.
And the rat's in the plastic bag. So, he's smart. He knows to get in his lockbox. I usually don't have any problems getting in the lockbox. The funny thing is when he sees me come into the room, he goes right to the door.
He knows you're going to take
He
him
knows
out.
that I'm going to do something, whether it's with him or not, but I'm going to do something in the room.
That's pretty cool.
And he will come out. I don't even need the snake hook. Now tonight I hooked him because I was in a hurry. But normally what I do is just open the door and he'll come right out into my arm.
To do a little flute thing to make it look like he's trained.
No, I don't have a flute. Well, I'll try. The next time you find
I'll find a recorder.
craft set, yeah. it sounds like nice crafting. But that's something.
So this is a Brooklyn King snake. He is about 6 or 7 months old now. I got him in the last 2 months, and he basically eats frozen thawed rat pups as of right now, once a week or every 5 days. And he's growing little by little. When he gets full grown, he is actually going to be more of a golden color and get to about max of 5 to 7 or 5 to 6 feet. Right now, he is just kind of in training to kind of learn to calm down, to trust me. But he is a baby snake, like Claudia said. They think everything is going to eat them, so they're a little bit more jumpy. He hasn't bitten me. He does hiss every now and again at me, or he tries to kind of get away. But for the most part, he's starting to calm down.
Is he native to Florida?
Yes, this species in particular is actually native to the Miami-Dade area. They're not, I don't think they're around this area because this particular subspecies is actually in Miami-Dade, around that area. Yeah, and they get a little bit bigger than I think the ones here are.
Now, why do they call them king snakes?
Because they eat other snakes. I mean, they'll probably go for rodents and things like that, but
And they feed venomous too, right?
yes, they're immune to every venomous snake except, I believe, the coral snake. Yes, the coral snake is the only one I don't believe they are immune to.
So they're immune to like lab.
Not to black mambas because they're only immune to the native snakes here that are venomous, not to the ones from other countries.
Because like the snake feel like
Rattlesnake.
Like a rattlesnake, copperheads, cottonmouths, that sort of thing, and pygmy rattlesnakes as well. But the coral snakes, apparently they are not able to be immune from them because they have more of a neurotoxin, so I guess their bodies aren't able to adapt to it. But they will eat other snakes. They'll eat not just the venomous ones, but probably virtually any other snake they come across if they really want to eat it.
Do they eat their young too then?
So with king snakes, they don't really stay around their babies for too long. And I do believe if they did come across their own young, they probably would cannibalize. It just depends. I don't know about the literature too much on that, but I think they do eggs. As far as I'm aware, I've not heard of them being rockers. I believe king snakes lay eggs. Am I correct? I believe I'm correct.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I've not heard of king snakes being
Yes.
That would also make sense if they eat their own young, that they have, that they lay eggs. Because then it
Yeah.
gives time for the mother to get away rather
Yeah,
than give a
they-
really short life to,
Yeah.
you're out, you're back in,
Yeah, the mother doesn't really have parental instincts. She just lays the eggs and heads off, and then the babies, once they hatch, they're on their own. So I wouldn't be surprised if they cannibalize their own young every now and then. It probably happens. And then,
Oh, is that a natural color or is that a...
so this is the natural coloration. The babies actually, he's probably had it a little more faded now since he's grown older. But when the babies are first hatched, they have red sides. And as they get older, that turns to more of like a light orange. And as he gets older, he'll actually have more of a golden tone with some of the patterning, some of the darker patterning on here. I actually have pictures of the parents that I was sent. So I can show you that on the phone in a second here. Does anybody, by any chance, have paper towels? Because he pooped in here, which is good, but also bad. Yeah, eggs. I can't believe I didn't know that, but I figured that's what they did. Yeah, he's really, really pretty. He's got like orangish eyes right now. I don't know how they'll change as he gets older.
And you said to me that's definitely a male.
Yeah, I bought him confirmed this name.
And are they sexually dimorphic?
No, the only thing that you might notice between male and female is probably going to be size. The males maybe are a little bit smaller,
Yeah. And then also, I believe the only other way you can tell is by either clothing, which I don't recommend doing unless you really know what you're doing or look at a vet's office. Because with young snakes, it can actually hurt them if it's not done correctly. Let me just go ahead and get this. But he is an amazing eater. I have no complaints with him.
Is he nocturnal or is he
For right now, I have noticed that sometimes he's comfortable. He seems like he's a lot more comfortable.
turn around?
Sorry.
Okay.
So he's comfortable coming out more at night, I've noticed. And that may just be a behavior of a juvenile because it's safer for
Quite
them.
safer, yeah.
But they are typically diurnal. But I think they probably, it just depends on what they're eating.
No.
No, there's a lot of different types that are both daytime active and night active. So I think it was just depend on what cycle they're in their life. And when they're a juvenile, they're probably coming out when it's nighttime because it's a little bit safer from diurnal predators. And then as they get older, they won't be as afraid to kind of show themselves because they've got more size on them.
How big do they get?
So I've heard that they can get up to 6 feet. The more common is probably going to be about 5.
And how thick?
So with king snakes, probably, let's see if I can get a finger on
It's got a little tail.
it. So probably about that thick. I'm not thinking too big because I know you've seen Dennis's Brooks king snake that he has that is full grown. Probably about that size. So, I mean, it's a good thickness, but the other thing that you'll notice too about these guys is that as they get older, they don't really have a slender neck like other snakes do, like an oversized head. They actually have where the head just kind of blends into the body. They're very kind of thick body and it's kind of, yeah, he's got a really nice pattern. I kind of thought about naming him Tiger, but I decided to name him Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah, I thought that was a good name, so I went with that. It's a good name. It's a great name. But he's got lots of patterning, and like with a lot of juvenile snakes, especially here in Florida, a lot of the babies and juveniles will have a lot more patterning than their adult counterparts. Like even the black racers, their babies start out with more pattern, more camouflage, and then as they get older, they get more solid coloring, and then eventually go to all black snakes. But these guys, once they mature out, they'll turn more of a golden color, sort of like a white golden, a little bit of like the brownish gold coloring in the pattern. I actually have pictures of their parents. I'll show you that. So I do have, he's probably going to turn out a lot with his parents. His parents are close. I saw pictures of him. So he's going to be, he'll mature out to look like a golden, brownish color. As he gets older, as he sheds, a lot of the darker colors are going to fade off and be more of a golden color.
Vicky,
Alright.
what do you have here?
I
Other reptiles?
am Vicky, and I have owned reptiles for many years, but I branched out a few months ago, and I have an arachnid. I have a jumping spider. And for those of you who know Harry Potter, his name is Aragog, so you'll get the irony of it. Aragog in the Harry Potter movies was a giant spider. So since he's a jumping spider, but he's out now, so I'm gonna walk around so you can actually see him. I actually bought him from a breeder in Michigan, and he is, with spiders, they go like in instars. So he's in his 6th instar, so he's a male, and he, I don't know if you can see up close, but he has Chillis spiders. Thank you. I see I'm still learning the terminology. He's a Pepipus regis. Forgive me for not saying the correct pronunciation. But his lifespan is short, only about a year. And I wanted a male. Yes. And this is his little habitat. The spider. Are they native to Florida? Yes, they're native to Florida. But I bought them from breeders.
I see them all the time. They jump around a lot. I mean, you go there and they're
Yep.
Are they? They're not venomous.
No, not that I
okay.
Well, wait a minute, people go out and buy flowers and give them to people, and those things last for days and weeks.
I know.
It's also not even the entire plant, it's only one specific area of the plant.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you humanize the plant, it's really barbaric.
Yes.
Because you're killing it in order to love it.
Eric has a story. He was $35, but the shipping was cheaper. Shipping was really high, and it was like shipping. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm worried about the tax now. So they shipped the express by our house.
There was somebody in the show that.
Yes. My spider tire.
I don't know. I think there was somebody.
He eats one more, baby milworms that I raise. You can't see them crickets. Even when I first had them, I thought flies. Well, he will be a little bigger. But, this poor little thing, his first mold with me, I thought he had died. They're supposed to be in a hammock when they molt, and their hammock is still wet. And they stay in there, and they're supposed to molt in the hammock. But he didn't. So he was just on the bottom of his other enclosure, and I thought he died, so I took him out. And I'm like rolling this thing around, great. I just spent a lot of this money, and so I'm rolling him around, and then I put him back in the enclosure, and I just, went about my business. I went back in a couple of hours, and he was out. So this poor thing was trying to molt, and I'm rolling around in my hand.
Oh, jeez.
So, but this is Aragon, and you guys are very well. So.
How often was
She's a teacher, so she knows that too.
Oh, no.
She knows good from bad.
She's got some wobbles in her classes here.
How often and what do you feed?
I feed him baby mealworms, and I feed him, with the jumping spiders, you will notice their abdomen can shrink. So I actually have a guide that, So here's this is what was sent to me as a tear sheet. So when their stomach starts to shrink like this, they're like in the starvation mode. So this is a hungry spider when their abdomen will start to shrink. And then this is a well-fed spider, and then this is an overfed spider. So he's in between here now, so he's actually going to eat probably tomorrow. So, and I actually have copies of his birth record. I know this is.
No, that's cool.
It is very cool. Okay, it is. It was the best money I spent. So here's his story of his molts, and he molted with me. So he's a 7th N-star jumping spider, and then he's got a birth certificate.
Cool.
And this is what the breeder sent, and then she sent me baby pictures. Oh. And you can actually see the. She looks right. She looks right. Okay, I'll get it.
Now, do they have was it more?
His ectoskeleton when he molted, yeah, you could. And I actually have a picture of his first molt with me, right here. That was like when I was, put him around in my hand, poor little thing. I felt so bad. And then I have the first mealworm in his big enclosure. Just to give you an idea. He will pounce on it. His little legs will go up, and he just goes down for it. And then his first mealworm with me, I know.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And I have a record of everything. I keep a record of all of his molts and the mealworms that I feed and the date in my phone. And here are the instars that they show you. This is the guide. This would be like a sling, and then they go down. So that's my air bug.